Hey, what's better than one flagship hunting bow from Elite Archery? How about two? We got two flagship hunting bows from the folks at Elite for 2024, and what I'll tell you is these things are shooters. Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery in our video studio. Today we wanted to tell you about the new flagship hunting bows from Elite for 2024. We've got the Ethos on this side and the Kairos on this side. These are two very, very similar bows. Basically what they're set up for is to give you some different draw length ranges. But they are both 33 inches axle to axle. That's kind of the sweet spot for me. I love that length. But on the Ethos, we have the SP cam because that one goes from 25.5 inches out to 31 inches. On the Kairos, we have the SPX cam. That one goes from 24 inches to 29.5 inches. So both of these bows, the draw weight options, they're both going to be available in peak draw weights of 40, 50, 60, 65, and 70 pounds. All right, a couple other minor differences between the two. On the Kairos over here, you are going to have a 6.5 inch brace height. On the Ethos, you're going to have 6 3/4 inches. However, with that bigger cam, the Ethos is going to be a little bit faster, IBO speed rating up to 340 feet per second. Kairos is going to come in at about 335 feet per second. All right, so those are the differences between the two. Now we're going to talk about the similarities because these things have a lot of the same technology. Whether it's the SP cam or the SPX cam, they're going to do all the same things. So we're talking about 1/4 inch draw length adjustments. That's something that Elite has been doing the last couple years. That is an incredible feature because, you know, most bows go in 1/2 inch increments on their rotating mods. These have the ability for 1/4 inch. So those 1/2 inch increments, archers, what happens is that doesn't feel exactly right. And so to affect it a little bit, what they do is they end up twisting the cables. Twisting cables will allow you to lengthen the draw length. So, but the engineers, Josh Sidebottom, I've talked to him about that, is they set up these bows for peak performance with everything at the specs that they come from the factory. They don't really want you to twist up the cables because then you're affecting the performance. So by allowing that 1/4 inch draw length adjustment, that's more adjustability to really fine tune that draw length. And that is something that you can do on the mods for both of these bows. Great feature from Elite. So something else that these bows have is we do have the V3 micro mods. And what this allows you to do is to micro adjust the letoff. It goes up to about 90%. And then what Elite says is that you can adjust it by 1% down to about 70%. You know, regardless of what the exact numbers are, what it is you can micro adjust the feel. Get it to feel the way you want to. Obviously, you know, all the way up at 90%, that's going to be the least amount of holding weight at whatever draw weight you have it set at. So that's going to be the highest amount of let off. Well, then you can just move that micro mod to get that holding weight exactly how you want it to feel. And with that micro adjustment, it's infinite. You know, a lot of the cams that have that similar feature, it's usually there are set positions that you have to go in, which is fine. However, Elite just wants you to really be able to get this bow to shoot the way you want. So it's infinite adjustment within that range. You can set that wherever you want. So these bows, coming from the factory, when you pull it out of the box, it is going to be set up as a cable stop on your cam here. In other words, the cable is going to rotate around, and when you reach your draw length, the mod is going to impact this cable right here. That is a great way to stop the cam for folks who like a little bit of give in the back end. It's not going to be much. It's still a very solid back wall, but just a little bit of give you have when it hits that cable. Now, something else that Elite does is in the box, you will get what they call a limb stop. So in the old days, the cam would rotate around and there would be a special stop that you would mount on the cam that would actually hit the limb. Well, Elite modified that so the limb stop doesn't actually hit the limb. Instead, they put this pad in, and when the cam rotates around, your stop is going to hit that. It's the same effect as a limb stop. This just allows them to get around the cable that they have on that side of the bow. But effectively, it is a limb stop. So if you like the immovable back wall, which that's what you get with a limb stop, it does not budge at all once the stop hits it. You can put the limb stop on there if that's how you prefer it. Again, options. One thing Elite is big on is allowing you to take this bow and set it the way you like. Rather than you having to fit the bow, they want you to be able to make the bow fit you. All right, next up, something Elite has been doing the last couple years is these bows both feature their S.E.T technology, simplified exact tuning. That's what that stands for. And so what S.E.T does is that's how you're going to tune the bow. You shoot through paper, you get a left or right tear. So what S.E.T does is it actually causes the limb pocket to pivot, which then, of course, affects the cam position there. But Elite has really simplified that, the S in S.E.T, simplified, in that they have a locking bolt that you're going to loosen, and then you're going to come around to the S.E.T bolt, and there's a sticker there that tells you if you got a left tear, you turn it this way. If you got a right tear, you turn it that way. So while you're tuning on the line, you're looking at your paper tear, you're just going to go over, adjust that S.E.T in the way it tells you to fix the tear until you get that bullet hole perfect. Super easy system that Elite has come up with, and talking to archers with it for years, they really love that feature. All right, coming down, we do have these wider limb pockets that Elite has been using the last couple years. I believe it's the last 2 or 3 years they widened that limb stance. That just really helps with the shootability of these bows, makes them super stable. Coming down, we are going to have their LTR, linear tunable roller, and what that is there's a series of screws on there so that you can move that cable arm left and right. What that's doing is changing the load on the sides of your cams there. So it's another way to affect your tuning. It's also a way if you're using fletchings that may be getting in the way, you can move the cables out of the way. But primarily it's going to be in tuning with your arrows. That linear tunable roller just allows you that ability for more tuning. All right, coming in to the riser shelf here, you are going to have 2 holes in the riser for mounting your arrow rest. If your rest has enough room for the 2 bolts, you can use 2 of them there. That will prevent your rest from moving. It can never pivot up or down. The Elite grip. So this is a grip that they have been modifying over the years. I believe this grip they've had on their bows for the last 2 or 3 years as well. This is something they've done in concert with a bunch of their pros to really get that grip how they want it for repeatability. That's what we want in a bow grip. You want to be able to get the same grip position time again. It is comfortable, flat on the back, narrow at the top, widens a little at the bottom. Just very easy to get the same hand position every time. 4 stabilizers, you're going to have your front mounting position. You are going to have 1 each on the back. And then if you want to get your stabilizer lower, you can take these out and put your stabilizer down here, move the Delta VRT up, whichever you want to do. That can be for, either one of those can be for your stabilizer. Some folks just like to get that weight really low on the bow, so you have that option. And both of these bows, you know, as we mentioned, they're so similar, are gonna come in at right about 4.5 pounds. For a 33-inch hunting bow, that's pretty good weight. That's not heavy, that's not light, right in the middle there. That's a great weight for a 33-inch bow. All right, now for shooting these bows, I have to start with the feel of the draw cycle because I'm old, I'm getting arthritis in my one shoulder there, so shooting some of these bows over and over is starting to get to me. However, that does not happen with Elites. These things draw so nice, it just doesn't bother my shoulder anywhere near as much as some of the other bows do. The other bows aren't harsh. I'm the one who's getting old. I'm the one who has arthritis. And I'm mentioning this because I did notice when I drew these bows, I was like, hey, that doesn't hurt my shoulder at all. So draw cycle is super nice. What you'll notice between the SP and the SPX is more at the shot. The draw cycles are very similar. At the shot, however, what I noticed was a hair more vibration from the SPX than the SP. Vibration probably isn't the right term. What happened was with the Kairos, the bow just had a little bit forward jump at the thump. You know, when the string hit, the bow moved forward a little bit. The Ethos, on the other hand, didn't move at all. At the shot, that thing just stayed flat in my hand. The bow jumping forward a little bit, that's not bad. That's not a bad thing. It's just something that I noticed that was different between the two. And again, they do have different cams. But one thing I will say is both of these bows were ridiculously quiet. I'm doing this by my ears. I think I heard maybe a little bit more noise out of the Ethos than the Kairos. But both of them were just stupid quiet. It's ridiculous how quiet these bows are. And, you know, being 33 inches axle to axle, again, that's the sweet spot for me as far as hunting bows go. They held nice at full draw, aimed awesome. I shot them first at 20 yards indoors, and you know, I was able to have my group's arrows all touching. Then going outdoors, we shot at 60 yards, able to hold that pin right where I wanted it. Arrows were tracking nice. Just everything about the shooting experience was awesome with both of these bows. I wouldn't say one was better than the other. I would say both of them I was able to shoot, you know, super accurate. These bows this year, the Ethos and the Kairos from Elite, they didn't change a lot of the technologies that they've been using the last couple years. They basically just built a 33-inch bow, which they have not had. So if you're someone who likes an Elite and you like that 33-inch platform, Elite did that this year with the Ethos and the Kairos. But they're putting out two great shooting hunting bows. All right, so that is the Elite Ethos and the Elite Kairos, brand new for 2024 from the folks at Elite. Nice shooting, hunting bows. That's something Elite has built its name on the last couple years. They talk about shootability. These things are super shootable. So if you want to see both of these bows on our website to check out the different color options that are available, etc., be sure to click the links in the description below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. As always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at lancasterarchery.com.